Now, it's yet another grim reminder of humanity's impact on the planet. Earth Overshoot Day. Now, that's when the global population has used more resources than the planet can regenerate in a year. 2019 saw the earliest date yet, July 29. It comes during another hot summer, especially in Europe, and that has got people there focused on the threat of climate change and what we can do about it. So let's learn a bit more. Let's speak to William Glucroft in Berlin. He's our correspondent. He's a correspondent with our partner, DW. William, it's nice to see you. But tell us a little bit more about World Overshoot Day.
Right, well, Overshoot Day, as you noted, it's a way for non-experts, non-scientists like most of us, you and me, to understand just how much of an impact the human population is having on the Earth's natural resources and biodiversity. Data goes back to 1970 when the so-called Overshoot Day was calculated at December 29th, almost the entire year, so started off on a good note, but that date has been moving up very rapidly in the years and decades since, and this year we are at July 29th, so this week, which is 2 days earlier than the last time it moved from 2 years ago. So we continually move up and up and up, using more and more resources, having more and more of an impact on the Earth. Now, this has hardly ever moved in the positive direction back towards the end of the year. It always moves up, and what that means is the equivalent of 1.75 Earths would be needed for the human population on average to continue consuming and living in the way that we do. Now, of course, that's an average. Not all countries are the same. Some consume more and have a larger impact than others. For example, the United States, a highly industrialized country that consumes a lot of resources, they would need 5 Earths. If we all lived like the US, we would need 5 Earths. If we all lived like Germany, we would need 3 Earths. Now, of course, Ghana, slightly less, doing slightly better. Only 1.2 Earths would be required if we all lived like people in Ghana, doing much better than the United States, but that's still 0.2 Earths more than, of course, we have to live on.
Right. Now, tell me, what exactly is the connection between World Overshoot Day and climate change?
Well, absolutely. So the experts that track the data, they say that our eco-footprint that contributes to and decides when this overshoot day is, 60% of that footprint comes from carbon emissions. And there is a lot of crossover and exacerbation between our carbon footprint and other kinds of environmental devastation, such as deforestation, soil erosion, using and then not reusing materials, especially such as plastics, and the production of other materials that have a heavy impact on the Earth around us. So these things play off each other and make climate change even worse, because all of these actions exacerbate climate change, put more carbon into the atmosphere. It also impacts non-environmental aspects. For example, a UN report recently concluded that 35 of its 44 sustainable development targets are endangered by the amount of resources that are consumed and the pace with which resources are consumed. Everything from tackling poverty to global hunger, health crisis, clean water, livable cities, clean oceans, and good land use. All of this is affected by how much impact humans have on the Earth, which coincides to just when this Overshoot Earth Day is.
Now, truth be told, this all sounds quite alarming, but the ultimate question is, what can be done?
It is indeed alarming. Here in Europe, we're going through yet another one of the hottest summers on record. June was the warmest summer on record in the whole world. Just last week, Germany hit 5 temperature records in just 2 days. So things are not looking so good. Even Angela Merkel in her summer press conference said that Germany won't begin to reach its 2020 climate goals. Hopefully it can reach its 2030 goals, but that doesn't mean that all hope is lost. There are a lot of things that we as individuals and as societies can do. Even just eating more vegetables, eating less meat, 50% less meat in your diet could push back the overshoot day 15 days. And the German Environment Ministry estimates that cutting food waste by 50% would give us another 11 days of breathing space in this so-called overshoot day. But of course, the biggest factor of all is that carbon footprint. It's the amount of carbon that we as humans produce and put into the atmosphere. We would need to reduce our carbon footprint by 50%, says the German Environment Ministry, to achieve 89 more days of room in our overshoot year. So this is a long way to go, but there is a climate conference scheduled for September, the next big time that global leaders, countries from all around the world, all continents will be represented to discuss just how we can turn some of these tips and some of these ways of living into real life action.
Wow. Well, I have a feeling that if I can convince our politicians here to at least stop loving V8 engines so much, perhaps that might bring us down from 1.2 to at least 1 Earths to keep Ghana running. But William, that's been very informative. Thank you so much for that. Until the next time.
Until next time, see you.
And that's William Glucroft, correspondent with our partners at DW.